I wrote a research note about 2 weeks ago, but we initiated back in August. Baillieu Holster have been sort of following the stock for a little while, so I thought it was worthwhile covering. The last note was about the joint venture that Pilbara Minerals had done with Altura Mining. I thought it made a lot of sense, but they have shared boundaries. So rather than spending a lot of time worrying about what your neighbours are going to do and whether you have to put roads in and a lot of duplication, they've, I think, seen the light and actually doing something together, which I think was a really good initiative. I think Pilbara Minerals is a sort of compelling story, simply because it's pretty easy mining. It's a relatively shallow open pit. The ore body extends over a long distance, so it gives them a number of options in terms of doing development. I think people get concerned about the fact that it's a small company in the middle of the Pilbara, looking at doing a development, but there's so much infrastructure from the old iron ore operations and everything up there that I don't think that the infrastructure, which has been a real problem for small companies in the past, is going to be a real killer in this sort of project. And it's, as I said, very simple open pit mining and processing, which should be relatively straightforward. The lithium industry, I think, it's very exciting. Obviously, everyone's keen about lithium batteries and all that sort of stuff, but it's very opaque. Industrial minerals are traditionally extremely hard to analyse, and in this case, it appears that everyone's got so much lithium that they could potentially dig up. It's not necessarily a scarce resource, but it's more going to be driven by consumers. And we've seen that recently where the prices have spiked to ridiculous levels, some spot prices around $22,000 a tonne. Whereas the major players who really do control the market are happy to sell product around the $8,000 to $10,000 a tonne on a lithium carbonate equivalent basis. And I think if you use those sorts of numbers rather than the crazy $22,000 a tonne, a lot of the smaller companies do stack up, and I think Pilbara is one of those. I think the key risks for Pilbara are getting the offtake agreements. Now, they've got one memorandum of understanding, but they've got the next 12 months at which they can actually reach out to potential converters to actually take their product. Unfortunately, they can't just sell what they're selling into the raw market. So their product needs to go to someone else, probably someone in China, and then be converted into something which a battery producer or one of the chemical companies can use. So for me, the risk is their ability to actually get rid of their product or sell their product in the open market or reach long-term contracts. And I think there's really a place for the small producer to get independent contracts rather than some of the converters just dealing with the majors who really do probably have them over a barrel from time to time. Baillieu's have got a buy rating on Pilbara, 74 cent price target. The 74 cents is my valuation for the company based on them starting production in 2018. But using, I think, what's a quite reasonable long-term lithium carbonate price of $9,500 to $10,000 a tonne.